Hi, I'm Kevin Eikenberry, and I'm here to help you reach your potential as a leader and a human being. Welcome to Remarkable TV and the Remarkable Leadership Podcast. If you happen to be watching on YouTube, make sure you hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any future episodes. Today, I'm helping you make questions your superpower. Are you ready? Let's get started. Okay, Kevin, it's a superpower, but how do I develop it? Well, sit down and think about the chair model. Yeah, I want you to sit down and ask questions instead of standing up and talking. It's the chair model for questions. C-H-A-I-R. Here we go. The C stands for curious. When we are curious, we are far more likely to ask a question, right? Like if we know something already, why would we ask? We get curious to ask, and when we ask, we can become more curious. So if you want to be better at asking questions and ask them more frequently, get more curious. Second, be humble. A lot of times we put pressure on ourselves to have answers and to make statements rather than asking questions. When we are humble enough to ask, we are more likely to ask. And sometimes we can ask even if we have an answer because we want to hear one from the other person. So when we are more humble, we will ask more and better questions. Third is the A. We have to be aware. We have to be aware that questions are our superpower. And when we are aware, then we are more likely to ask them because, listen, we want to have that ability to learn, engage, etc. So be aware that questions are helpful to you, so that way you will more intentionally ask more and better questions. The I stands for inclusive. If I'm in a one-on-one conversation, this one doesn't matter as much, but if I'm talking about a group, being inclusive means making sure that I get insights and ideas and I'm asking questions of everyone. I want to make sure that everyone has a chance to share their thoughts and ideas, so I want to make sure that I'm being inclusive. When I'm inclusive in my asking of questions, I'll ask more and better questions. And lastly, reflective. This is the kind of questions that we would most often think of as being about ourselves. And I've certainly talked about reflection and reflective questions here before. The idea behind reflective questions is to step back and say, what worked? What didn't? What did I learn? And so we can ask reflective questions of ourselves, and I encourage you to do so. But we can also ask reflective questions of others. We can ask and give them time to respond. Hey, I don't need your thoughts on this right away, but I'd really love for you to think about this. And ask a reflective question, giving people the chance to step back and think. So the chair model helps us sit down rather than standing up and asserting our opinions. And it allows us to therefore ask more and better questions. Curious, humble, aware, inclusive, and reflective. Let me close with today's tweet. Asking better questions more often is a superpower as a leader and a human being. Each week for many years, I've written a newsletter called Unleashing Your Remarkable Potential. And we talk about all sorts of things that can help us unleash our potential, including ways that we can build superpowers like asking questions. And as it turns out, every week in that newsletter, I ask you questions to help you become more effective. If you'd like to learn more about that newsletter and join us, as well as our other newsletters, you can go to kevineikenberry.com/newsletters to sign up for free. I hope you'll do that. And I hope to see you back here next week for another episode of Remarkable TV and the Remarkable Leadership Podcast.